Hi, y'all. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about my challenge, right? This is a personal challenge for me to live off of one paycheck per month from my full time job. As you guys probably just seen, well, I just posted it today, made the video today. This is my second video for today. That I am now certified, so I actually have this permanent job, permanent full time job, and to say I'm excited, that's an understatement. I'm very happy. I'm proud of myself. But with the income, as you guys know, for the past 2 years, I've been low income. Now, for everybody, low income is different. When I quit my full time job back in April, was it April or March? It was April. I think it was April. Wow, I think it was late March. I had quit in of 2021. I was just sticking with Amazon and Kohl's, and then October through December until I got my part-time job, I just quit. I just wanted to take care of my mental health. My mental health was in the dumps, okay? And working part-time this past year, you figure I on my taxes, I think I made around 23,000. So that's low income, right? I'm a single mom, single parent household. I think that's very low. It's doable, but I think to me that's low income. I'm of course at double that amount now, so that's why I'm like I feel rich. To some people, it doesn't feel rich. So if I was making what 40 to 50,000, because if I made 19,000 last year, I brought in around 23,000. So let's just say double the amount, right? Making 50,000. I'll probably make some more this year, obviously, because I do have Amazon. I feel rich. But, lifestyle creep is a thing, right? Like, my whole thing's like, how am I going to treat myself? Like, we get to the point where we're like, let's treat ourselves. And I do want to treat myself. I still want a tablet. I still want a tablet. There's a tablet on sale. I think it's a Samsung 6S Lite with the pen. And if you guys don't know, before like was a year or so ago, I wanted to buy myself an iPad. I'm like, I don't have, through and I'm like, I never bought it, but that was in my mind. And then I'm like, well, I don't have Apple anything. So recently I was just looking and I'm like, oh, I seen this tablet and it's like on sale, right? Like $100 off. And I'm like, ooh, that would be nice for me. But I'm like, can't. In the back of my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, Candace, you can spend $250. Obviously, you do got it. But like, really, you just want to spend $250? Like, come on, what am I really, if I'm going to really use it, of course I would use it, but y'all, I have phones galore. I have my almost newer phone. This is the Motorola one that I just got like 2 months ago. You're on the newer phone I just got myself. And I'm just like, Candace, no, no, no. No, no, no. You got these phones. These phones will do. Like, what do you want a tablet for? To dribble on, girl? You got notebooks. Get your notebook. So I am not going to buy myself anything for this. I did have like, today I did have like just like a little bit of a drink. I just had like some margarita mix. I don't like alcohol, y'all. So I do mix it with like something else. I had it with orange juice. That's what we had in the house. It was cool. The crab legs at Kroger's is back on sale, but I'm like, I'm all crabbed out, and I'm just like, nah. I want my money to really stretch. I still right now have like, I think we're at like $1,100 now. Before I thought we were at 1,100. We were still at 1,200. I think we're definitely at 1,100 right now in our EBT card. So I still want to take full advantage of that. And I didn't buy us anything special, myself special for me passing. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. I will say my gift to myself is to slow down. Slow down. And what do I mean by that? Like this past week, I did not sign up for this week that we're in. Today is Saturday, the 25th. I didn't sign up for any extra shifts this week at Amazon. I I've been going, signing up for extra shifts, you know. I can only pick up 2 extra shifts per week anyways. And that's what I've been doing, you know. But I told myself, I was like, Candace, now you're going to take it slow. This is your last week. You just want to focus, you know. Even though I found my rhythm. But what I know, what I do, y'all, is when I start to feel a certain way, I like to keep pushing myself, keep myself busy. And then I crash, you know, and I didn't get to a crash point, but I felt myself getting tired, you know. I felt myself thinking about quitting Amazon. I felt about quitting this new job, you know. And I'm just like, Candace, you got to just take some time to yourself, relax, catch up on some good sleep, you know, just relax. And that's what I did. I'm gonna do that for next week as well. New shifts came out for this upcoming week. I didn't sign up for anything. I was like, for my first week in production, I want to really just focus on my calls, get off of work, and not have to think about picking up 2 extra shifts. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my gift to myself, you guys. But yeah, let's talk about me wanting to live off 1 paycheck per month. As you guys know, I am now currently consumer debt free. I still have 10,000, like a little bit, I think it's like $10,300 worth of student loan debt, which I will get to. Hopefully, I'm still waiting for that forgiveness, but now that my income has increased, obviously I can knock that out very, very fast. But my whole thought process was, you ever get to the point where you just, I don't like the financial struggle. But sometimes you just like that push, right? And when you get to like a certain point, you're like, wait, what's next, right? So like, you know, you sometimes you can do all of these different savings challenges to keep pushing you. But what happens when you're out of debt? Like, what happens? What's the next thing to go after? My thing was to pay off my son's car, right? Now my son's car is paid off. What's next, you know? Of course, I still want to build my emergency fund to be up to a little bit over 30,000. I want to get to 30,000. If it goes over 30,000, good, right? And we'll update you guys on that. But you guys see what I'm saving per month. So I was like, you know what? To make it fun for me, you know, not just seeing, because money for me, y'all, it does make me sad. And as I mentioned in previous videos, you know, I'm a widow. But when I had met my husband, of course, I had money, and I'm a giver. You know, that's me. That's what I like to do. I like to give, not money and gifts, but like if you're my companion, oh my goodness, that was my world to give to my husband. You know what I mean? The life that he didn't have, the life that he wanted. You know, and did he appreciate it? No, we ain't gonna go into all that. But for me, it felt good for me to give and to share that with somebody. So now, you know, I don't have that to give, and I'm not gonna spoil my son. You know, he has a car that's paid off. So what's next, you know? And so money for me, it's kind of like a sad thing, because I'm like, I have nobody to share it with, you know? Yes, you can save, but like, y'all, I tell y'all, I still like to live life, right? I still do. That's just being honest. I like to live life. I don't go crazy, you know. I don't go crazy, but I still like to live life. I like to have these nice moments to create memories, you know, whether it's a nice trip. Most of the time, this is a nice trip somewhere. Once a year, me and my son was doing that, a trip every year after my husband passed. And so I would like to go on a trip this year. It may just be back to my home in upstate New York. My niece is going to be graduating, so that may be my only trip this year, to be honest. But so be it. It is a trip, right? We get to see family. But like, what else is there? Like, so for me, I'm like, okay, I got this 1K savings challenge. So that's cool. But what else? What's next? Okay, I already know I want to save 15,000 this year. But what else? Like, how else can I challenge myself? I want a challenge, to keep budgeting motivating. So my goal is to say, hey, the car is paid off, the car insurance is paid off for 6 months. Those were like the two extra high two out of the three higher bills. My rent obviously is the highest, but the insurance on two cars and renter's insurance included, as well as the car payment, was the other two higher bills. And now those are gone. So I'm like, okay, so something I was like, looking at my paycheck from my full-time job, looking at my expenses, your girl can live off one paycheck per month. And that's what I plan on doing, and I feel like that's going to be fun for me, to keep me motivated, to keep my expenses low. Okay. I think it's going to be so amazing. February, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we got a paycheck coming up on February 28th, which will be for March. And we'll see how that goes. Will that one paycheck be able to cover the full month, It's just like, I right now, do I need a full-time job? No. Right? But I have a full-time job. I like it. And hey, the pay is good, and I'm happy. But the thing is, by me also keeping my expenses low, that allows me to do that, right? It gives me not security, because jobs can come and go. We know this, right? Jobs can come and go, layoffs can come, your health can take a turn, things can happen in life. But I just want to be smart. I always like to be smart with my money. And the reason, like I tell you guys, I do tell you all the time, like, I would love a new car. I would like a nicer apartment. But what's wrong with what I have? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with what I have. But I think we as humans, we always wish, we think about things. We see things. Who doesn't want better, right? Who doesn't want better? But I'm not saying what I don't have is not good enough, because I love my car. I love my car. People see it, it's like, wait, what year is that? And I tell them, they're like, man, your car is still in good shape. When people come to my house, like my sister and stuff, they're like, oh, your house is so cozy. Now, mind you, I don't like to clean up. I ain't got no pictures all on the walls, no decorations, but it's homey. Like, when people come to my house, they don't want to leave, because they're like, man, your house is really, really cool. And, but those things, and this is what, let me tell you something. When I was at my previous full-time job in my area, and I'm pretty sure across the U.S., you see all of these new apartment places being built, new homes being built, and even then, the prices were just outrageous. The monthly payments would be outrageous. At that time, let's say if my rent was still $700, these new places were like $1,400. So I'm like, man, that's double the rent that for what I have now. And in my head, I'm like, I can afford it. I can't afford it. But you know what life has taught me, especially with me having depression, you guys, was I may not always make this type of money that I make now, right? What happens if I don't have this job? I have to go somewhere else and they don't want to pay me at this rate. Then I'm really going to be stressed out, because you know what, Candace, you want it better, right? And it's not to say to be scared of wanting better, nothing like that, but you figure, this is for me, right? This is my logic for myself. you're a single mom, right? You got somebody you got to take care of. Your mental state is not always the best, right? I quit my full-time job right after I basically got my son's car. Now I could have paid my son's car off in full, but I did not want to deplete my savings because I was already living off of my savings, right? And I took like, well, when before I went or quit my full-time job, what I had just saved up 32,000, right? And about time I got to my part-time job in December of 2021, your girl was down to $16,000. So I depleted half of my savings, right? And it's just like life can change in an instant, you just never know what can come at you. And then here I go getting a part-time job and making almost half of what I used to make per hour. Like, I go to almost close to $30 an hour to a $17.50 an hour job. But you know what? It did the job. And because I am not low income, because I keep my expenses low, I can be low income and still be okay. For me, I'm like, me quitting my full-time job made me realize that, Candace, life happens, but you have to put yourself first. Like, I was not used to putting myself first, and that was the first time I ever put myself and my mental health first, okay? I would go on short-term disability, long-term disability, and it would just be a domino effect. And it was so frustrating. So when I quit my full-time job, I did not even leave with a 2-week notice. I was just like, I'm done. Like, for years, 4 years, you guys, my anxiety was through the roof. My depression was through the roof with medication, okay? With medication. And it was just like, I like my job so much, but why am I like this? It's the most frustrating thing ever. And I was like, wow, I saved up this money. Candace, take time. Yes, I was still at Kohl's and Amazon. I was still there, right? Because I'm like, well, at least I'll have these 2 jobs for some type of income, and I still have my savings that I just, saved up. I got out of debt, and I just went on a savings spree. And when I saved up that money the first time, I'm just like, if I ever want to walk away from a job, I can do it and put myself first and not have to be stressed about money. You know what I mean? To give myself time away to focus on myself. Like, the more I get older, I'm 35? I'll be 36 this year, y'all. A job is just a way to bring in income, right? That's all it is. I don't care about making buku money. I was good at my part-time job making that month. The amount I was making was paying all of my bills plus some of my additional, right? Like my variable expenses. Y'all seen how I did it. So I was okay. But like inflation, right? Inflation. You don't know from lease renewal to lease renewal how much your rent's gonna go up by, right? You just don't know. Like, everything just keeps going up, and I'm just like, well, even if I were to stay at this part-time job, everything else keeps going up. I'm gonna be depleting my savings. You know what I mean? So I was like, it's time for me to definitely go back full-time. I did not want to go full-time at that job, that's for sure. No. So I applied for this other job, and I got it, y'all. But the whole thing I wanted to say is, like, me keeping my expenses low is not to say that, hey, settle for less. I'm not settled for anything. I love my apartment. I really do. It's small. Could I want some upgrades? Of course. Who doesn't, right? Like, as humans, we want the best, right? We want the best, but I'm content with what I have. I appreciate what I have. I love my car. My car is like a sentimental for me. That was the first thing I bought. I always bought my own cars on my own, but when I had got out of the shelter, the domestic violence shelter for the first time, that's what I bought from me and my son. I bought that car for my son because he was what was it, kindergarten? Yeah, kindergarten. And they didn't have he would come home from school. It's like I don't have anywhere to sit on the bus. And I'm like, as a kindergartner, you don't have anywhere to sit on the bus, and it was winter time. And I was like, nah, I can't do that. So that's why I got the car. That's the only reason why I got this car. So it's sentimental for me. It was like me getting back up on my feet for the very first time from starting all over. Had to quit my other job because I was in the shelter. I'm like, I can't go back there, you know. My husband knows that. People know me. People know my husband there. They will let him know. And it's just like that, my strength, my strength, what I've overcome. And I appreciate my car. I appreciate my car. It's been paid off for years, probably for what, nine years now. If not a little bit more. And yeah, y'all, like, but like, who doesn't like new, right? Here I am, got a new phone less than 3 months ago, and I got a newer phone right here that you guys I'm recording on like a couple weeks ago. Like, make it make sense, Candace. Now you want to buy something else? Like, stop. Just stop. Sometimes I'm like, Candace, so sometimes you got to take a step back, right? This is what I tell myself. I have to take a step back. I'm like, what else have I given myself? Like, presents. I have given myself one of the best presents ever was buying a new couch. I started working at this full-time job, and I'm like, guess what? It's time to buy me a couch. And that's what I did. That was my gift to myself. Yes, it was a while back, but I didn't have to go into debt for it. I basically used my first paycheck for it. And yes, y'all, that was my gift for myself. I don't have to keep buying. And I'm not saying that this phone is a dumb purchase. Not at all. Because this phone is basically for free with the $100 gift card that I already got, plus the $100 gift card I'll be getting for this one. This one's for free, and this one is $500, not including the $100 gift card. If I put that $100 gift card on this phone, this is a free phone. So I'm like, that's cool, and I'll write these things off as a for YouTube expense, a job expense, because I use the phone for those reasons, right? So yeah, y'all. But yeah, that's my whole thing. It's just like, me, I always like to make my budgeting fun. I feel like so many people that I used to watch, they stopped budgeting videos. They still budget, but they're like, it's the same thing over and over. And I totally get that. It is. But that's why I like to try to do different things. Let me switch it up. But so me living off one paycheck per month, it just shows that if you bring down your expenses, it doesn't matter what happens in life. You won't have to be so stressed out when the time comes or whatever. You know what I mean? Or you have more money to do fun stuff. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to do fun stuff versus saving, go for it. I like to have a balance of fun and real life. Knowing that, hey, things can happen in an instant. And, me having my mental issues, even though it's been good with my medication, I think of realistic things, right? I don't have anybody to take care of me. I'm not in a relationship. And I know somebody asked me, like, why wouldn't you want to be in a relationship? I will say I'm not a relationship type of person. I'm very, very independent. I love to give. I enjoyed being in a relationship with my husband, even though it wasn't the best, but I know that I know how to love. But to be in a relationship, y'all, it's a lot of work. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to answer to somebody. I'm no. One and done is good for me. And that's not for everybody. But for me, growing up, I'm like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I was a tomboy. But, I'm happy I've had that chance to experience it. Do I miss it? No. But it's like it was nice, but it had its downsides. But when you think about me being able to love, it was beautiful. There was, I'm not going to say all times was bad with my husband. There were good times, but me being in a relationship, it's just not me. And this is the fact that I know myself, right? I'm like, I just want to take care of myself, my son, my dogs. I don't want to be in a relationship where I have to be on the same page as somebody. We're all imperfect. And, clashing, and then got to get on the same page. I don't want to go through all of that because relationships are not perfect. Okay? I don't want to go through that again. Like, that's just a lot of work. I don't want to do that. I like being single. I like only having to worry about myself and fighting with myself. You know what I mean? So, and as I mentioned, it has nothing to do with being in a relationship that was not always the best. It's just me, right? I'm still that tomboy. But yeah, y'all. Yeah, that's my goal is to, still just keep my bills low. Even though I'm adding on to my bills, like, buying this phone, I do have to pay on it monthly to get the extra credit. Because the phone is expensive. It's like $1,000. This one has the extra storage, so it's like 1,300, 200. But I got it for basically, what is it? It's gonna be like $500 after the fact, I think. Or was that for the lower storage? So probably, let's say $600. But I pay on it monthly. That's in part of my phone bill. But yeah, y'all, I'm like, yo, I've done stuff, we're gonna go on a trip this year somewhere. As I know I'll be going back home to New York regardless. But yeah, I'm very content with what I have. But sometimes, when life creeps in and you're like, oh, you see something like I want this tablet. I'm like, here we go again, Candace. Like, why you want the tablet? Like, you just got a phone, 2 phones. Nah, and you got a couch. So I'm happy now. Don't get me wrong. If I want something, I'll get it. But like, logically, like, let's be real, right? So yeah, y'all, I don't know. Thank you guys for chatting with me. I'm gonna take a shower. I gotta work at Amazon tonight and tomorrow, and then back to the grind. But as I mentioned, my other gift to myself is it's relaxing, y'all. Relaxing, taking everything in. Of course, I'll be coming back to you guys with an update on my first paycheck for March. Let's see how this goes. I'm excited about this challenge. If we can do that all year, I'm like, man, 15. My goal is to say 15,000. Oh, we're gonna go past that. We shall see. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.